want to put this map up on the screen. In the Bronx, there are most small businesses have less than 2 weeks of cash.
This is some scary shit, man.
That's kind of remarkable.
It's going to happen in the Bronx. It's going to happen in every black neighborhood, every inner city, not necessarily black neighborhood, but Hispanic.
Look, not only has the Bronx seen the most economic struggle, it has gotten the least economic support. I mean, as that Times piece noted, New York City had a $20 million small business assistance program. Manhattan received 57% of the assistance, whereas only 2% went to the Bronx. And we've seen comparable disparities when it comes to the federal government's PPP program.
Let me ask you about school. The governor of New York has now said that school districts are free to make their own decisions about how they operate come September. On one hand, you've got people who are suffering at disproportionately high rates of infection and death in places like the Bronx. And then on the other hand, you have students who, because of family income, are less likely to be able to successfully study online from home in some places because they don't have adequate Wi-Fi.
It's a common complaint in my district, whether it's public housing or shelters, just the lack of internet access triples the ability of children to learn from home. So the shutdown of our schools has had a disproportionately destabilizing impact on low-income communities of color, especially in places like the Bronx. It's comparable to the loss of learning in the summer, and I worry that it's going to have long-term consequences for the future of our children.
This is scary, yo.
What do you need the most in the Bronx right now? And if you get
not
to
just for the Bronx,
at the end of the year, what
you know,
most going
in
to
Patterson,
it's
going to hit here too.
The people of your district,
the government is not taking care of the people. Trump administration,
the Bronx is remarkable because you can get on a
politicizing everything.
And be in the Bronx
about democratic cities.
Probably the nation's one of the nation's richest.
It's just terrible. We're all Americans.
Lowest in terms of income.
He's supposed to work for everybody.
Look, we need jobs first and foremost, but in the absence of jobs, we need an extension of supplemental unemployment insurance. By allowing the supplemental unemployment insurance to expire, Donald Trump and Mitch McConnell are essentially telling the people of the Bronx to drop dead. And that's a disgrace. These so-called public servants are doing a public disservice to the poorest people in America.
One of the points that you've made is that people in your district don't have the privilege that a lot of people have of telecommuting, working from home. We've been talking to people in the Rio Grande Valley, in Hidalgo, and places like that. Same situation. They sometimes live in situations at home where there are a number of people living in one household under one roof, and they don't have jobs that allow them the privilege of telecommuting. They tend to be service workers.
That's exactly right. Without a full reopening of the economy, low-income communities of color are going to continue to be without a livelihood. And without jobs, without unemployment insurance, we are condemning people in the Bronx to starvation and destitution. You know, as an elected